You're watching the Solano College Sports Network, SCSN, bringing you the best sports coverage in Solano County. Peterson has to deal with the Falcons. Cleanup hitter Alex Crosby and hits this one well to left center. Tolbert hits this one to left. It's carrying. Bailey over his head.
All right, here we go. Here's a pitch by Altman. At the knees, ring him up, strike three called. Here comes Wills, played the play, he's in. He is safe, and the Falcons are going to win this game 7-6. Oh my!
I'm Scott Stover. Thanks for watching the Solano College Sports Network.
Well, good afternoon, folks. We are here at Billy and Luis Yarbrough Stadium as your Solano Falcons are set to take on the Storm from Napa Valley College. Napa comes in 0-7 in the BVC, but they have played very tough games in those Bay Valley Conference games. 6 of those 7 losses have been by 3 runs or fewer, so they have been competing, and they got off to a good non-conference schedule this year, 5-3 non-conference for Napa Valley. Now looking at Solano, they throw their ace on the hill this afternoon. Anthony Pizzola comes in 3-1 overall, ERA exactly at 2. Solano is 5-1 in Anthony Pizzola's games he has pitched in, so important for Solano to get on track early and get Pizzola some run support. So we are here at Billy and Luis Yarbrough Stadium. We're getting close to the opening pitch, and now I send it over to my broadcast partner, Greg Poff. We're here at Solano College Sports Network, and he will give you the lineups for today's game.
Well, thank you for that opening, partner. And now for the starting lineups. First, for the Napa Valley Storm, leading things off in left field, number 3, Alex Fernandez. Batting second in center field, number 21, Jordan Grubbs. Batting third, number 13, Rico Rodriguez. He'll be at first base today. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 19, Eric Peruzzi. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 6, Kevin Coffey. And at shortstop, batting number 6, number 7, Christian Gazdar. Batting next will be number 14, Randy Keene. He'll be in right field. Batting 8th, number 9, Tim Nunn. He'll be at third. And rounding out the lineup for the Napa Valley Storm, batting 9th, number 5, Brandon Ortega, the second baseman. And on the mound, number 25, Brandon Mayo, the pitcher, comes in with an ERA 3.52, 0-1 on the season. This will be his 11th appearance and just his second start. Pretty impressive in his first start last Saturday against Napa. Pitched well in that game, even though the Storm came up a little bit short, losing that game 4-1. Now, the starting lineup for the Solano Falcons.
David Fernandez.
All right, leading things off for the Falcons at short, David Fernandez. Up next, the catcher, Aaron Brasher.
In right field, number 6.
Batting third in right field, number 6, Zach Wells.
First baseman, number 22.
At first base, cleanup hitter, number 22, Alex Crosby.
Third baseman,
batting fifth at third, number 1, Tucker Bishop.
Batting sixth.
And at second base, next up, number 7, Justin Quilliton, or JQ as he likes to go by. The designated hitter, Nick Speeney.
Batting 8th.
Batting 8th in center field, Jordan Tolbert. And now rounding out the starting lineup for the Falcons, batting 9th, number 3, Edgar Ibarra. He'll be in left field. And on the hill, the Pez dispenser, number 28, Anthony Pizzola, comes in with the 2.00 ERA, 3-1 on the season. This will be his 5th start. Last Saturday, pitched a dandy of a game, a 3-hitter in a win over Las Madonas, 3-0. All right, and now for the play-by-play, I'll throw it over to my broadcast partner, Zach Poff, here on the Solano College Sports Network.
Well, thank you, sir. Anthony Pizzola, as you named him, the Pez dispenser on the hill. And Solano has been money when Pizzola's been pitching. They're 5-1 in games he's appeared in. 3-1 record this year. ERA right at 2. He's been one of the best pitchers in the Bay Valley Conference this season, and really kind of came out of nowhere. First pitch over, outside corner, strike 1.
And what Pizzola's really done well with the start of conference play, he's really picked up his ratio as far as walks to strikeouts, really picked up with the control.
Alex Fernandez could not check his swing, so quickly behind in the count, 0-2. And Fernandez has been playing really well as of late for Napa. .393 average with 2 RBIs on the season. .485 on base percentage for Napa's leadoff hitter here this afternoon. 0-2. Low, counts now 1-2.
And as you said at the opening of the broadcast, you look at Napa, of course, their conference record 0-7, but they've played pretty well, had a lot of close games, just not coming out on the winning end.
The 1-2 from Pizzola outside, count now even at 2-2.
Good spot.
Yeah, Napa started the season 5-3, got off to a pretty good start, but since then they've dropped 10 of their last 11 games, including 7 in a row in Bay Valley Conference play. The 2-2, weekly hit, left field. Edgar Ibarra gets under it easily, 1 up, 1 down for Pizzola.
And Edgar Ibarra getting the start in left field today. He and Giovanni Torres kind of platooning in left field. Of course, Jordan Tolbert in center and Zach Wells in right.
I don't think you ever have to tell anybody who's in right field, right? Crosby at first, JQ at second, David Fernandez at shortstop, little Tucker Bishop over at third, Brasher Pizzola catcher pitcher for Solano. First pitch a little low and outside, count 1-0 to Jordan Grubbs. Grubbs has been a stud this year, 337 average, 2 long balls and 16 RBIs for the Napa Valley Storm center fielder. 1-0, fouled straight back, count now even at 1 apiece.
Jordan Grubbs also excellent speed, has 4 stolen bases on the season, so a guy that Pizzola would like to keep off the base paths today.
Grubbs smokes this one. JQ dives for it off his glove, so a 1-out single for Jordan Grubbs.
Get it on the ground.
Nice try by JQ. Dove got the leather on it, but couldn't come up with it cleanly. That would have been a sensational play if he would have, and that'll go down as a base hit. So Jordan Grubbs on base, and as I just said, gotta watch this guy. He can get after it as far as stealing bases.
And that'll bring up Rico Rodriguez, 319 average, 11 RBIs.
Hey, base hit.
For Rico, the sophomore out of Hogan High.
And a lot of these kids that play for Napa played locally in Solano County. A couple kids playing at Bethel, Hogan, and then even in Vacaville and at Wood.
First pitch in the dirt, ball 1.
Really nice weather today, probably early 70s. Bit of a breeze blowing out towards center field. Probably will pick up as the game continues.
You know how these Cordelia winds tend to get as we get inch nearer to April. I mean, this is nothing to what it's going to be probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. The 1-0, smoked, double play ball. Fernandez flips it to second. JQ to first, Crosby on the back. 6-4-3 inning ending double play. Heading to the bottom of the first, no score. Bottom of the first. Get a look at the sophomore righty, Brandon Mayo, making his second start on the season. Used to be in the bullpen this year, has 10 appearances on the year. And in his 1 start, he pitched pretty well. Went 7 innings against the top team in the BVC, Marin College, number 4 in Northern California. Went 7 innings, only allowed 2 earned runs. And I believe he's in my mom and your wife's class over at Napa, right?
He is Brandon Mayo, a student of Anna Patero's interpersonal communication class, getting in touch with the sensitive side.
First pitch, Mayo low. David Fernandez in the box. 274 average for David Fernandez this year, the freshman. Out of Armio High. During the senior season at Armio, hit 364. This year, 274 in his first year at Solano. 1-0, outside corner, strike 1.
And Fernandez out of high school actually went to Cosumnes River and was going to play there, but I'm not sure if he got injured, but ended up not playing back here at Solano as a freshman, and look for him to be in the lineup for this year and next year as well.
The 1-1 weekly hit to third. Low throw. Nice job by the first baseman to pick that one out of the dirt as Tim Nunn with the throw from third.
Yeah, really good play by Nunn over there. Good job staying with the long throw and gets Fernandez. And Fernandez really runs well. Not the fastest guy, but he's got those long legs and he really picks up a lot of ground. So good job by Nunn, the third baseman.
And Tim Nunn, the freshman. Napa High. Aaron Brasher, been hitting pretty well as of late. All the way back up in the 2 spot. Takes the first pitch for strike 1.
Brasher, a guy that's just been solid behind the plate all year for the Falcons, and bat's starting to come alive a bit.
Yeah, over the last 7 games, Aaron Brasher bat 273 with 3 runs batted in. During his last 4 games, he's 6 out of 13, has a 4-game hitting streak.
Go 2-5.
And I think other than the second game against DVC, he started every game at catcher.
0-2, hit to third. Deja vu, Nunn, throw to first. 2 up, 2 down for Brandon Mayo. 2 ground outs to third.
So Tim Nunn playing the hot corner, getting some action here. 2 up in the first inning, both sharply hit ground balls to Nunn, handles them effectively, and 2 up, 2 down for Brandon Mayo.
That'll bring up one of the best players in all of California, the right fielder, Zach Wells.
So partner, I've been working on some nicknames.
Oh, God.
Got to get some more nicknames for the Falcons.
Nice pitch, Mayo. First pitch over at the knee, strike 1. What do you got? What do you got for me?
You look at Zach Wells, kid out of Bear River, kind of just came out of nowhere, kind of reminded me a little bit of Roy Hobbs, and he plays baseball so smoothly. I think the nickname for Zach Wells got to be The Natural.
I was like, who is that? Going movies on us.
Zach Wells, The Natural, one of the smoothest ball players we've seen here at Solano
I'm
Community
sorry,
College.
Zach, but there's only one natural. Okay, we got to come up with something new. I'm shutting it down. There's only one natural.
Randy Couture, maybe different sports, so you can use nicknames
Okay.
from one sport to the other.
And we'll be talking about the UFC
backup-
later on, too.
My backup nickname was Silk.
Yeah, let's not go with the
I
Silk.
like The Natural.
Silk's something Anna would come up with, Mayo's teacher. Swing and a miss on the 1-2. Nice pitch by Brandon Mayo. 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first for the sophomore stud Mayo. Heading to the top of the second. We are scoreless here at Billy and Luis Yarborough Stadium.
Peruzzi.
4, 5, and 6 hitters due up here for the Storm. Eric Peruzzi, the DH, 197 average this year, 2 long balls and 16 runs batted in. Eric Peruzzi got off to a hot start this year, was a NorCal Player of the Week, February 4th from February 10th, the only player in Napa history to win Player of the Week in Northern California. Hit a grand slam and also hit for the cycle in a 3-game series against Butte. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2 to Anthony Pizzola.
Wow, grand slam and hit for the cycle.
That's pretty good, right?
That's really good. Hardly, I mean, you rarely hear kids doing either one of those in their career.
Count 1-2 now. Kevin Coffey, the catcher, on deck. 6 RBIs for Coffey, hoping to get up with a runner on. 1-2, Peruzzi. Weekly to center. Tolbert fields it. Hat falls off. Shows you how it's a little bit of a windy day here at Billy and Luis Yarborough Stadium. 1 up, 1 down for
Go 6.
the Pez dispenser.
Quinn Tolbert, he's been impressive in center field all season as a freshman. And you look at this Solano lineup, nice combination of sophomores and freshmen.
Well, partner, you did your homework. Kevin Coffey, the former punter for Oakdale High. Takes the first pitch, outside corner fastball, strike 1. Coffey, 5'8", $160, sophomore out of Oakdale High. Leads the team with 5 stolen bases this season. Pretty rare when you see your catcher, your leading base swiper. 0-1, hit up the box, off the mound, right between Fernandez and JQ. So a 1-out single for Kevin Coffey.
Boy, and that ball almost got away from Tolbert. Good job keeping it in front of him.
Go 7.
And so another base runner on board for the Napa Valley Storm here in the second.
Also, too, give a quick shout out. We got the lovely Raina rocking the camera, doing a fabulous job so far here early on.
Baseball so hard to do with one camera, but folks, another 2 weeks, we're going to go from 1 to 3 cameras, hopefully.
It's going big time, baby.
All the action here on the Solano College Sports Network.
And also, too, make sure and try and check out the Falcons Baseball Weekly Show. Coffey takes off, Brasher, strong throw, and they got him in a pickle. Crosby, tag, 2 down.
Former wide receiver tracking down the punter from Oakdale, Kevin Coffey.
Well, you know what? You're usually going to, if you had to pick, okay, who's going to win in a foot race?
Yeah.
You're going to go with the
You go with
former
the receiver.
punter, or you're going to go with the receiver. You're going to go with the wideout, right? Even if it was at Wilsey Wood.
But Coffey, as you said, good speed on the base pass, but that time gunned down by Brasher.
Only the second time in 7 attempts he's been gunned down. This one smoked down the right field line, right in front of Zach Wells, so 2-out single with nobody on for Christian Gazdar.
Go 1-4, huh? Up for 2 outs.
And that caught stolen base now hurts now. Napa should have runners on first and second. Of course, Pizzola might have pitched him a little different now with the bases empty.
So solid hit by Christian Gazdar, trying to keep things going here for the Napa Valley Storm. Now we get a look at Randy Keene, the right fielder.
Also does a little bit of pitching for Napa. He's made 6 starts this year on the mound. Swings at the first pitch. High chopper to Fernandez. Takes it on 2 hops. Steps on the bag. And that is how the top of the second ends. 2 hits for Napa, but 1 caught stealing. No score. Heading to the bottom of the second.
Alex Crosby.
Alex Crosby, the sophomore stud, 16-game hitting streak, has hit safely in every single game this year. Leads off, bottom of the second. Mayo gets the outside corner with the fastball, 0-1.
Crosby has just been a hit machine all season for the Falcons. It's almost like he's an assassin up at the plate.
And he's been consistent all year, 360 average in the 7 conference games, counts 1-1. Crosby has had 8 multi-hit games this year, so he's had at least 2 hits in half the games this season. And he's only struck out 2 times in the last 11 games. The guy knows how to get the metal on the ball.
And I like the way he gets dialed in at the plate, focused, almost like there's a contract on the pitcher. That's why we're going with Alex, the Hitman, Crosby.
The 2-1, Crosby, off the pitcher's glove. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, Gazdar. Strong throw, not in time, gets away from the first baseman. Crosby is going to get to second. Feet first slide in there, so it's going to go down as a single and then a throwing error on the shortstop.
Boy, and like the hustle by Crosby getting down the first baseline, he was really digging, trying to dig that one out. Even if the first baseman, Rodriguez, makes that catch, I think he beats that out, Zach. But on the errant throw, able to scamper down to second base. So Falcons, leadoff runner on second.
And right there, too, I mean, it's just a reaction for the pitcher to try and get his glove on the ball. But if he just lets that go right by him, easy 6-3 put out for Christian Gazdar. But it's just, it's tough. It's hard to let it go. Bishop gets a bunt down.
Someone get it.
Does his job, and not even a throw to first. Tim Nunn came in to field it, but Brandon Mayo, the pitcher, decided to take it, and no throw to first.
Now batting second baseman, number 7, Justin Quillitan.
So Napa in a bit of a trouble. Boy, and Brandon Mayo so effective in that first inning, 3 up, 3 down.
Infield single there. I mean, didn't attempt to throw. I mean, I think he had time, but I'll be nice, and I'll just give Tucker an infield single. I know he wants that average to go up a little more. He's been raking since conference play. He's been raking all year. I mean, the kid's batting .314 this season. JQ now showing bunt. Pulls it back. Just in time for ball 1.
Good eye by Justin Quillitan at the plate. And boy, JQ, has been real solid all year.
.281 average, 1 home run.
And some real timely hits this season.
14 RBIs for the sophomore.
Oh, that hit him, I think.
And that one plunks JQ, so the base is now loaded for Nick Speeney.
Yeah, I think that one might have caught him in the ribs because he kind of turned into that.
He's a tough dude. He's a tough kid.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't even act like anything hit him there.
The DH, number 11.
JQ out of Hogan High School. Couple kids playing for Napa out of Hogan as well.
Hey, focus on.
Nick Speeney, 218 average this year, but in the last 7 games he's batting .261 with 8 RBIs and 2 triples. Had one of the biggest hits for Solano this year. I believe it was against Mendocino. Takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. And Speeney's got to love coming up with the bases loaded. No bunt, just get to go up there and just try and rake right here, and that's what Speeney does best. And the one thing Speeney's been doing very well this year is he's taking the pitch where it's at. He's not trying to pull pitches out on the outside corner, just poke it to the opposite side of the field. The 1-0 from Mayo. Speeney lays off in the dirt, count 2-0.
Mayo took a little bit off that one, but as you said, Speeney, and he mentioned this in your interview with him on the Solano Falcon Baseball Weekly, that's one thing he's really had to do is he's not getting many pitches in, go with the pitches away and just try to poke him into the outfield.
Let's see if Stover gives him the green light here, 2-0, or he might be taken. And he smokes this one to left, it's carried. Fernandez going back, makes a catch. Crosby's going to tag up and score. Falcons on the board first here, 1-0, bottom of the second.
So clean line drive out to the left fielder, Alex Fernandez, gets the Falcons on the board first as they take a 1-0 lead over the Napa Valley Storm here at Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium. I thought that ball might carry a little bit more. Zach got that one up in the wind, but didn't carry far enough, but does get the run home.
That brings up the number 8 hitter, Jordan Tolbert. He has 4 multi-hit games in his last 6. Been playing really well since conference play started. Tries a little bunt single. None, fields it. Throw to first, in time. Both runners advance. Bishop now at third, JQ now at second with 2 down.
So Tolbert lays down the sacrifice bunt. And Tolbert, earlier in the season, especially non-conference play, struggled a little bit with the bunts, but boy, that was a beauty right down the third baseline.
So the freshman from Rodriguez High, Edgar Ibarra, comes up with 2 down, 2 runners in scoring position.
Big opportunity here for the kid out of Rodriguez, fresh off that section title last year.
241 average and 4 runs batted in for the freshman Ibarra. Getting the start in left today.
Brandon Ortega, the second baseman for Napa.
Swings at the first pitch, high chopper past the first baseman and by the second baseman. Bishop's in. JQ, going to be a play at the plate. Tag applied, and he is gunned down. Excellent throw by Randy Keene. The kid's a pitcher for a reason, so Ibarra gets an RBI on the play. JQ tagged out at home. Falcons get 2 on the board in the bottom half of the second, heading to the third. 2-0 Solano. Top of the third. Anthony Pizzola has given up 3 hits, but's got out of both innings pretty easily. Tim Nunn, Brandon Ortega, and then back to the top of the order, Alex Fernandez. Tim Nunn looking for his first hit this year. 0 for 27. The kids do. You got anything corny for us? I know you got the last name Nunn. He's hitless. He didn't even have anything in the bag for that?
Well, I think his last name is kind of his nickname, Nunn.
Just ruthless.
Let's get it to Timmy 1, baby.
He's made some nice plays defensively today.
And probably why he's in the lineup. Outstanding third baseman.
Tim Nunn, the freshman out of Napa High. Hits this one. JQ going towards first. Throw to first. 4-3 put up. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the third.
That was close. Good play by JQ. Moving over towards the first base side of play. Stays with it. Kind of took a big hop too, but able to pretty quick hand. Stayed with it. Gets a throw to Crosby.
And the thing that sucks with this Cordelia wind is we set up a mic to do some natural sounds, but it's too windy.
We're getting the natural sound of the wind, huh?
We got to cut it down. I mean, it's too much. First pitch over. Strike 1 to the number 9 hitter, Brandon Ortega.
And Brandon Ortega, as I was saying in the last inning, played with Edgar Ibarra at Rodriguez.
Won a section title, right?
Absolutely.
0-1, just low. Count 1-1 to Ortega.
And
5
Ortega,
RBIs on the year.
And Ortega had 2 big hits in that win over El Camino to get Rodriguez the section title. Went 2 for 3 in that game, had a big run batted in.
1-1, about a foot in front of the plate. Count now 2-1. Because Cordelia wins just picking up by the second.
And blowing out towards center.
At least they didn't come until we got everything taped on the table. That's always big time. 2-1, low and outside. Count now 3-1. And what about Anthony Pizzola this year? I mean, I don't know if a lot of people outside of maybe Crenshaw and Stover knew this kid was going to perform this well. Counts now 3-2 after that one gets over. But his last 2 starts at Los Medanos, complete game shutout, only faced 31 batters, 4 above the minimum 27. I mean, this guy has been one of the best pitchers in all of California this year. 3-2, fisted. Fernandez, going to be a tough play. Strong throw, just in time.
Bam.
Nice stretch by Crosby. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the third. But yeah, getting back to Pizzola, what's impressed you the most for the Pez dispenser this season?
I just like his demeanor. You know, you talk to that kid, always upbeat, big smile on his face, very conversational, very personable kid, but he just doesn't get rattled out there. And I remember that first game against DVC, he was in a few jams, walked a few guys, but able to pitch out of those jams as well, and he's just been getting better and better since that opening game against DVC.
So 2 down here in the top of the third, back to the top of the order. Alex Fernandez flew out to Edgar Ibarra to start this game off. 393 average for Fernandez. Finally getting in a little more. 11 out of 29 now on the season for Fernandez, the freshman out of Napa High.
And Pizzola, one of the big reasons Solano was so successful in non-conference play when Anderson was struggling a bit.
1-1 in the dirt, count 2-1. Yeah, Solano's 5-1 in games that Anthony Pizzola has appeared in. I mean, he gives this team a good chance to win anytime he gets the ball. And it's been the same thing with Ryan Anderson lately, too. Ryan Anderson's been pitching lights out his last 5 starts.
Well, Ryan Anderson, he's just going to throw strikes.
Counts now 3-1. And Ryan Anderson, big-time start last Thursday at Marin. A game Solano, they didn't have to win, but a nice win early in the season for Solano. Went 8 innings, only allowed 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, and 1 hit. He's had 14 strikeouts, only 1 walk his last 2 starts. High chopper, right past the glove of Fernandez. 2-out single for Alex Fernandez. And the one thing Pizzola's been doing well is he's keeping the ball low. All the hits so far have just been little squibbers out of the infield. So they're not hitting the ball too well right in the sweet spot so far. I mean, it's just kind of been balls finding holes and getting right by Fernandez and JQ up the box.
Yeah, that one maybe 6 inches out of the glove length of David Fernandez at shortstop there.
But now it gives the hot-hitting Jordan Grubbs an opportunity with 2 down. Ripped a single off Pizzola in his first at-bat, and he's really the only one that's hit the ball crisp.
Yeah, and even though Napa does have 4 hits, you're absolutely right. He's the only one who really had a line drive single.
And you see those Cordelia wins get some dirt in the eyes of Jordan Grubbs. So Napa trying with a little 2-out rally here in the 3rd. This one tailing, has a chance to stay fair, and that one is called a foul ball.
Boy, I thought that hit the line, Zach.
I did too. I thought it was pretty clear that dabbed the line, but we're pretty far back, and the umpire has a better view than we do. Valdez, the home plate ump.
Boy, that's going to be sweet in a couple weeks when we get our 3 cameras, and we'll be able to add instant replay. That's one I definitely would like to take another look at.
Yeah, that was close. I mean, it was tailing a little left. Scott Stover will take it.
Yeah.
Bob Freshke won't.
Boy, Navarro, though, good job getting all the way over from left field. Really has excellent speed out there.
So the count now 0-1 after that foul ball. Grubbs tried the little Rafael Furcal bunt single, fouled it straight back towards the Falcons' dugout. So Pizzola 1 strike away from getting out of the inning with only 1 hit allowed.
Yeah, Grubbs kind of leaping out of the batter's box, but good pitch by Pizzola. Took something off that one, made it a little harder for Grubbs.
I need to stop saying the Furcal. I'm going to start calling just the Ichiro. Ichiro's better than Furcal. Been doing it more recently, so I got to change that up. 0-2 outside, trying to get Grubbs to swing at a pitch out of the zone. Count 1-2. Throwaway pitch for Pizzola.
Well, you saw Furcal do that a lot when he was playing with the Dodgers.
So the count's 1-2. Rico Rodriguez hoping to get a chance to come up. The number 3 hitter, 2 down. Fernandez on first base. Grubbs hits this one off the pitcher's mound. JQ has it go off the top of his glove. Fernandez, strong turn past second. Runners on the corners now with 2 down, so back-to-back 2-out singles for the Napa Valley Storm.
Good job by Fernandez, too, cutting off that throw because Grubbs, he wanted to get down to second, get in scoring position. Nice decision there by the freshman. Looks Grubbs back, so runners on the corners here. Pizzola in a little bit of a jam here. Top of the 3rd. Solano up 2-0.
And Jordan Tolbert, the center fielder, showing off. He's got a nice little cannon there out in center. So runners on the corners, 2 down. Number 3 hitter, Rico Rodriguez. Grounded into a double play to end the first inning. Hit it sharply, but right at Fernandez. Perfect pitch, inside corner fastball, strike 1.
And this is when Pizzola has been good all season, when he's in a jam like this.
Well, so far, I mean, Napa's got 5 hits off him. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and now 2 2-out hits here in the 3rd. Rico Rodriguez skies this one. Shallow center. Tolbert gets under it. Easy put out. And he didn't know how many outs there were. He was ready to try and gun him down at home. So Napa strands 2, top of the 3rd. 2-0 Falcons here at Bill and Luis Yarbrough Stadium. Well, Falcons up. 2-0 here. Bottom of the 3rd. David Fernandez coming out to some Tupac. All eyes on me.
David Fernandez.
Fernandez has been a nice surprise for Scott Stover this year. He's been a guy he can put at the top of the order. Also has improved week by week with his glove defensively. Trying to take out Tommy Pavesi, the 3rd base coach there, and he kind of karate chopped that one towards the dugout, doing his best ninja impersonation. I mean, he's getting up there in age, though. He doesn't want to pull something over there, right? Pavesi.
You didn't want to bend over.
Fernandez tries the bunt single. Going to be a tough play. Nunn, bare hand, throw to first in time.
My.
Tim Nunn trying to get on ESPN. Baseball Tonight will be back soon with his best web gem impersonation. Excellent play by Tim Nunn.
Well, you got that one highlight calling the game at San Francisco State on ESPN.
Maybe
Top
SCSN's
Hits.
going to get up there, right?
And you know, Solano College actually on ESPN was at the top 10, but back in 2002, they had that record-setting game with the College of Marin.
And who called that game?
Bob Green and yours truly.
That's right. Oh, it wasn't Gary, it was Bob?
It was Bob Greeny.
Who's better, Bob Green or Gary Drabelbus?
Well, Gary's a pro. I mean, he's got that voice, but Bob Green's good too.
Yeah, both solid guys.
Yeah.
Very good. It counts 2-0 to Aaron Brasher. Brasher grounded out to Tim Nunn, the guy who's been showing off the leather and showing off the bare hand. Brandon Mayo had a 1-2-3 first inning. 2-0 inside, count 3-0. A little bit of a jam in the second. The Falcons got 2 runs on the board, but Randy Keene, his right fielder, gunned down Justin Quillayton at home. So only 2 runs scored in that inning for Solano. Could have been worse. And this one hits Brasher. And I mean, he could have got out of the way and got the walk, but you know, he's a former fullback. He likes contact.
And that kind of brings me to a nickname. I'm not sure if it's going to
You're
stick.
just serving him up today, aren't you, partner?
But I've been thinking about Brasher.
Let's see, I'll give you the yay or nay.
Iron Man.
I like it. I'll give that.
I was thinking Iron Man or the backstop.
Iron Man.
I just like
Not even
backstop
close.
goes with Brasher, but Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Cool.
We going Iron Man. Not even close.
Tough running back.
He
and
just showed it right there.
Yeah.
It's 3-0. You can just get out of the way and take ball forward, but nah, he's gonna take a little damage.
plays every game at catcher. Oh, man.
The natural hits this one. Got a chance to get over the center fielder's head. Outstanding play made by Jordan Grubbs, the center fielder. So 2 web gem plays for Napa with the glove here in the third.
We got to get that on Sports Center. What a catch out in center field by Jordan Grubbs. My goodness. After Tim Nunn's beauty at third.
You know what? They should thank us. They see the camera out. It's like, hey, we got to impress, baby. Tim Nunn with the great bare hand play. Jordan Grubbs, I thought that one was going to get over his head. Made an outstanding play in center. And you want to talk about 5-tool players, you got to talk about Jordan Grubbs. This kid can hit. He can hit for pop. He's fast. He can throw. And you can see him with the glove there.
And boy, Wellesley got that one up in the wind. I thought it was going to carry, but Grubbs getting back, leaping one-handed catch.
Brandon Mayo better be buying these guys dinner after this one. This one in the dirt to Crosby. Got away from Coffee, but not far enough where Brasher can scamper on to second from first base.
Or you could pick some pretty good restaurants in Napa, too.
Name some.
There's that one by this, I can't remember the
one.
name. The guy's on.
There's a lot of good restaurants in Napa. Oh, there's that one.
No, this one's been on TV on the cooking show.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get old. You get asked the question, and, it takes time. That salt kind of goes way a little slow. You got to tip it on the side. But no, there are some very good restaurants out in Napa Valley. Napa Valley, one of the better places if you want to just relax, enjoy scenery, go drink some wine.
Little wine tasting.
Napa's your spot. So the count's 2-0 to Alex Crosby. Had a single to lead off the second. Reached to second base on the throwing error by Christian Gazdar. Quickly head on the count, 2-0. Tucker Bishop on deck.
Go, Mayo.
Boy, you can hear that wind whipping around, can't you?
3-0. Outside corner, strike one. Count now 3-1 to Crosby. Two very impressive defensive plays in this inning. I mean, the Falcons could have at least one a run in here. 2 down, 3-1. Brasher at first. Crosby takes this one low, so walked Crosby. Brasher now at second. Crosby on first for Tucker Bishop. And Tucker Bishop's been on fire as of late. Had a big-time hit against Yuba on Tuesday. Tied it up with an RBI single in the 9th. But talk about a roller coaster ride. Bottom of the 10th makes the air. That was the decisive run. But, I mean, this kid's 19 years old, maybe 20. Very young guy. And I mean, you can make the case he's been their most consistent hitter outside of Alex Crosby this season.
Yeah, Tucker Bishop has been outstanding at the plate, and he's made some good plays at third too. But he did have actually had 2 errors in that game against Yuba. But did have that big hit.
On Thursday, it was 0 for 3. It snapped his 7-game hitting streak. It's already started a new one here with the infield single. Hits this one well to left. The left fielder, Fernandez, going back. This one's over his head off the wall. Brasher's going to jog in and score easily. Crosby's going to score standing up. And that is a 2-out, 2-run double for the freshman sensation, Tucker Bishop. What's his nickname? You got one, right?
I got a couple. All right. Scooter, not that happy about that one.
No, that's shot down.
Here's the one I like.
Let's hear it.
The baby bull from Benicia, Tucker Bishop.
I like it. It's long.
It is long. We got to make up for his height disadvantage, so we give him a long nickname. I also have Bulldog on there, but I kind of like that. The baby bull from Benicia.
We're going to stick with it. We're going to try and come up with a better one maybe down the road. But I like it. I like it better than the other 3, I can tell you that. Well, the baby bull with a big-time hit. 2-out, 2-run double for Tucker Bishop. Now with 14 RBIs on the season. But hey, he got outdone by his little brother on Thursday.
Hunter Bishop,
Hunter
right?
Bishop hit a walk-off grand slam against Fairfield High School on Thursday. Kid's batting nearly 300 with 5 RBIs on the season. 4 RBIs coming on that one swing. Benicia, just as good as when Tucker was playing there. They're 9-1 this year, 3-0 in conference. So the Bishops know how to win, don't they?
Yeah, they're competing for player in the house, right? I think little brother's leading right now.
I'm tipping my cap to Hunter.
But Bishop's not done. See, and that's why I kind of like Scooter. He's got those little legs. He doesn't really run. He just scoots. I don't think he'd like that one. I think
we're going
with
with the baby bull.
Baby bull from Benicia, Tucker Bishop. Quilliton at the plate doesn't need a nickname. JQ.
Yeah, he's got one. It's JQ. So Mayo gets a little help from the home plate umpire. Count 1 and 2 after he got the inside pitch. 2 down. And really, I mean, Napa's lucky to have 2 outs here. I mean, 2 outstanding defensive plays. Tim Nunn, the third baseman, a nice barehanded play. And Jordan Grubbs made an outstanding catch to rob Zach Wells of an extra base hit. JQ up the box. Takes a tricky hop on Christian Gazdar. Gets into center. Bishop rounds third. He's going to score standing up.
Boy, and that was just a nasty hop, wasn't it, Zach? In fact, you've seen a few in the infield, just some bad hops. There was one for Napa in the last inning, but that one looked like Gazdar was going to have a chance. Just darted away from his mitt, out into center field. Another run on the board for the Falcons as they take a commanding 5-0 lead.
I mean, I'm giving JQ an RBI single there.
Oh, yeah.
It took a tricky hop. Not a routine play for Christian Gazdar.
Bad hop single.
And we've heard teams talk about this. I mean, the infield sometimes a little rocky, and which is common in a lot of community college baseball parks. I mean, you got budget cuts left and right at all the community colleges in California, so what? They're going to pay for better dirt? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Boy, that was a nice pitch by Mayo there. Looked like it might have been inside, but catches the inside corner.
So the Falcons, a little 2-out rally here in the bottom of the third. Scored all 3 runs with 2 down. Crosby with the 2-run double. JQ, RBI single. Now Nick Speeney up, who had an RBI sacrifice fly in his first at-bat. 13 RBIs on the year now for Nick Speeney. Second on the team. JQ's 15 RBIs are tops. Crosby hits this one, left center. And this one's going to get all the way to the gap. Hard turn past third. JQ trying to score. Goes around the catcher. Excellent slide. He's in safely. Speeney advances to third on the throw to home. So the Falcons have scored 4 runs here in the bottom of the third, all with 2 down.
Boy, and JQ is digging there. He did not want to get thrown out at home for the second time. He was chugging, but gets in easily. Another big hit for the Falcons. They've just been ripping the cover off the ball against Mayo here in the 3rd inning.
And we got a time called.
And we'll see some pitchers head down to the dugout for Napa Valley, starting to get loose.
And that gives us an opportunity to talk about the pitching coach, Warren Bruce Starr, who's I mean, this is a well-respected guy. I mean, everyone knows who he is in Napa. He played 9 seasons in majors. Played with the Phillies from 77 to 82. Played a little bit for the Chicago White Sox, then was traded to the Cubs in 83. So he played with the Phillies, White Sox, and Cubs. He was a teammate with a former Solano Falcon, Tug McGraw.
That's right.
They won the World Series together in 1980 against the Kansas City Royals. Tug McGraw got the final out, and Warren Brewstar appeared in one of those games. And in the World Series, he went 2 1/3, no hits allowed, no runs, 1 walk.
Boy, how cool is that? You've got a coach who's played in the World Series.
I mean, talk about respect
Credibility
right
there.
off the bat, exactly. And he was inducted in the Napa Valley College Athletic Hall of Fame in 2011. Also played with another former Napa Valley star, Bill Buckner. Played with him with the Cubs. Buckner graduated from Napa in 1968. Buckner didn't have that much success in the World Series, though, right?
Oh, but
I had to. Sorry, Bill, if you're listening.
and he was one of my favorite players with the Dodgers.
I've
Billy
always said
Buckner.
he's one of the most underrated, and you gotta love him. You remember the scene he had in Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Classic.
That was probably the funniest episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm I've watched. 0-1 to Tolbert, hit out of play over the right field side. So Mayo trying to get out of the inning. The Falcons have scored 4 more runs here in the bottom of the third, all with 2 down. 6-0 Solano. Once again, you're checking out Solano College Sports Network. I'm Zach Pop here with my broadcast partner, as always, the Big Kahuna, Greg Pop. Tolbert hits this one to Mayo. Throw to first. Falcons score 4 runs with 2 down here in the bottom of the third. 6-0. Heading to the fourth. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for Napa. Eric Peruzzi flew out to Tolbert to lead off the second inning. And this is a kid that is batting 197 on the year, but he's a way better hitter than the 197. He's just in a slump right now. And it happens, this is part of baseball. I mean, we've seen it happen to some of the best. Look at Matt Kemp last year. I mean, he struggled. I mean, a little bit of injuries too, but all guys go through this.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, you get off to that good start, maybe get banged up a little bit, just not feeling healthy.
And he's quickly ahead in the count. 3-0.
And good eye at the plate. None of those 3 pitches missed by much.
And of course, he'll probably be taken all the way here. You're down 6-0. Got to get runners on. 3-0 inside corner, strike 1. Peruzzi's got to come back. And last 6 games for Peruzzi. He's batting 105. He's 2 for his last 19.
Boy, you still look at his power numbers, though. 3 doubles, 3 triples, 2 home runs, and still 16 runs batted in, hitting just 197.
Hits this one well, but right at Fernandez. Strong throw. In time. Nice stretch by Crosby. Kept his foot on the bag. 1 up, 1 down. Peruzzi now 0 for 2.
Fernandez looking good at shortstop today. Really showing off that nice range. And Fernandez kind of a tall, lanky kid, and he can really cover a lot of ground there at the shortstop position and kind of starting to look like the shortstop that we expected when Coach Stover was talking him up at the start of the season.
This one hit. Fernandez again. Strong throw. 2 up, 2 down.
And I like the way he kind of comes up with the ball, coils, and makes that strong throw.
Kevin Coffey now 1 for 2 after that 6-3 ground out. Pizzola, all 4 innings. One thing he's done in every inning is retired the leadoff hitter. That's huge for a pitcher. Christian Gazdar, the shortstop, takes the first pitch inside corner, strike 1. Gazdar, 288 average this year, 4 RBI, still looking for his first extra base hit on the season. The freshman out of Northgate High hits this one. Colayton, second baseman, fields it, throw to first, so 5-pitch inning for Anthony Pizzola in the top of the 4th, 6-0 Falcons. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning.
All right, new pitcher on the mound for Napa Valley. Curtis Huffman comes in, sophomore. Played his high school ball at Santa Rosa. He's a lefty. And Curtis Huffman, 8.31 ERA on the season, just in 4.1 innings. He's 0-1. And he takes over for his buddy Brandon Mayo. Falcons roughed him up for 6 runs in 3 innings of work. So now Curtis Huffman takes the ball from Mayo. And Edgar Ibarra getting things started for the Falcons. That pitch a little bit high for a ball. So the new pitcher, Curtis Huffman, in. Interesting. Huffman also in the same class with Brandon Mayo, taking interpersonal communication with A. Patero.
And you probably said this already, but Huffman, the sophomore out of Santa Rosa High, making his third appearance on the season. 0-1 record, 8.31 ERA. 2-0 to Ibarra. What do you got for Ibarra, huh? What's his new nickname?
Well, you know, we were pulling up to the college the other day, Zach, you and I, and for a minute I thought I was on Sepulveda Boulevard back in East L.A. I hear the 12s bumping in a car behind me. I look back, I thought I was going to see an Impala. It's little Edgar Ibarra in the Honda Civic rocking the 12.
He was bumping.
And you think back to those days in East L.A., that was a lowrider car, but I can't call him lowrider because he's got a Honda Civic. But War, the band that wrote the song Lowrider, also had a song about the Cisco Kid. Edgar, the Cisco Kid Ibarra. A lot of work for not much, huh?
The 3-2, hit to second. Ortega, throw to first. 1 up, 1 down for the new pitcher, Curtis Huffman.
And there Ibarra grounds out to his buddy from Rodriguez, Brandon Ortega. Teammates at Rodriguez last year, as we mentioned before.
David Fernandez.
So Ibarra now 1 for 2. Had an RBI single in his first at-bat. Back to the top of the order with David Fernandez. Looking for his first hit this afternoon, 0 for 2. 2 ground outs to Tim Nunn. And really should have had 1 hit, but Tim Nunn made an outstanding barehanded play in the top of the third, or bottom of the third. 0-1, barely misses on the outside, counting out even at 1 apiece. What do we got for Mr. Fernandez? Don't even go to that last one or the second to last. Like, come on, legs and rabbit, are you kidding me? This one smoked to center. Grubbs again makes an outstanding play almost, but this one bounces out of his glove when he hits the ground. Fernandez going to scamper to second with a 1-out double.
Boy, Fernandez just kept running the whole way. Boy, I thought that was going to be a second web gem by Grubbs out in center field, but when he hit the ground, ball just rolled out. So standing on second, David, the Count, Fernandez.
The Count. Why?
Or the Cobra. I like the Cobra because he's kind of tall, lanky, the way he coils and throws the ball. The Count, I don't know. I just like that name, kind of sticks.
Is this what you do late at night? You're just trying to think of nicknames for these guys, and this is the best you could come up with? Rabbit and legs, really?
Well,
really? I feel bad.
He's got long legs, and he runs like a jackrabbit.
What, does he hop around?
No. Have you ever seen a jack? I'm not talking about the Easter Bunny.
Are you kidding me?
Jackrabbits are fast.
Let's get off the National
But that was my
Geographic
number
Channel
4.
now, all right?
Legs was my number 3.
Huffman pitching with 1 down, Brasher up, legs at second.
Hey, no doubt about who's batting, right? Iron Man.
I like
Brasher.
that one. I'll give you this. Half of the ones you've thrown out have been okay. They've been good.
And we'll put a poll up on the Solano College Sports
I don't think
Network.
anyone's voting for Rabbit.
And that won't even get to the multiple choice, will it?
Brasher takes the 0-1 low, so count 1-1. Aaron Brasher 0 for 1. Got hit by a pitch in his last AB. Only batting 192 on the year, but has an on-base percentage at .357.
I got to do something when my wife's making me suffer through Dancing with the Stars, so I try to come
Okay,
up
listen,
with
you don't got to tell everybody else about that problem. I mean, that's your problem. No one cares.
Hey, sometimes it's yours. I've come home and you've been in there watching. It's like you're being held hostage.
I can tell you one thing Niner fans won't be watching because they don't want to see Jacoby Jones dancing around like he did on that kickoff return, 108 yards in the Super Bowl. But they are happy about the acquisition of Anquan Bolden, one of the best and most underrated wide receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, big acquisition. I like how Seattle gets Percy Harvin. 49ers go, okay, we'll do one better.
And our camera lady, Raina, big Broncos fan, as this one's a chopper foul. She's stoked about Wes Welker. Now
Well, you can go drop passes for Peyton Manning now in big games.
You talk about dropping passes. The guy's #1 in the NFL in most receptions the last 5 years. Had 115 receptions last year.
In
Tops
games that don't matter.
in the NFL. The guy is the best slot receiver in the NFL by far. Not even close. He has over 400 yards, 400 receptions out the slot, so 2-2's low. No one else has more than 215.
Yeah, but when you need to make a big catch in the fourth quarter in the Super Bowl against the New York Giants, make the catch.
Okay, that was a long time ago.
That was a year ago.
It's a long time ago.
Hey, good for him, though. He got Mad Jack going to Denver and
2
gets to
years,
play with
12
Peyton
mil.
Manning.
3-2. Brasher swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Curtis Huffman. Took a little off. Brasher out in front. 2 down now here in the bottom of the fourth.
So Brasher goes down swinging, got his money's worth on that pitch, but comes up empty. And boy, Zach Wells, he wants to do something here. He hit a ball that he thought was going to get a run or two home in the last inning, or back, in the third, but sensational catch by Grubbs in center field.
So Brasher now 0 for 2. The natural, Zach Wells, 0 for 2, but got robbed in his last at-bat. Center fielder Jordan Grubbs made a web gem play in center in the bottom of the third. Over the shoulder catch, right in front of the warning track. I really like Jordan Grubbs' game. The kid is a good all-around baseball player, doesn't really have a weakness.
And boy, you look at him, he reminds me a lot of Anthony Calton, the sensational outfielder from Mendocino.
And of course, he did that game against Mendocino. Solano won 5-3, correct?
Come back,
Wells,
Nick Speeney.
Wells couldn't check his swing there, so the count 1-1. They were down 3-1 in the bottom of the 8 with 2 outs, and Nick Speeney on a 2-2 pitch smoked one down the right field side, just past the diving arms of the right fielder. Speeney with the tying triple, and the Falcons walked out of that one with a 5-3 victory, and Ryan Anderson pitched all 9. 1-1 inside, count 2-1 to Zach Wells. And we were just talking about Jordan Grubbs, how he's a great all-around baseball player. You look at Zach Wells. I mean, the kid doesn't have a weakness. Also got a great arm, good range in the outfield, can hit for power. He's got great speed.
Outstanding base runner.
2-1, little low. Count now 3-1. And it is a 3-1 count, but you do have first base open, so you don't have to give Wells anything to hit here. But then you do have Alex Crosby on deck, so kind of a tricky situation right here. It's like, do you want to attack Zach Wells on 3-1, or do you want to just go after Alex Crosby with a brand new count?
Got to face the natural or the hitman. You pick.
3-1. Huffman's done an excellent job of changing speeds. I mean, we saw Brasher out in front, and then we saw Zach Wells out in front on a 3-1 pitch, a hitter's count, and that one was kind of right down the middle, a little low, but it had a little sink at the end, and Zach Wells just swung over the top. 3-2. Wells, right field. Randy Keaton gets under it. So David Fernandez is 1-out double, stranded at second, going to the top of the 5th. 6-0 still Solano. We're getting a little carried away here.
Still fighting over nicknames.
It's not fighting, it's just
Discussion.
Pizzola have been dealing, though. That's one thing that's been certain. 4 innings so far for the Pez dispenser. I like that one. This one smoked and just fouled down the third base side. But Pizzola has been very efficient in this one. Has given up 5 hits, but no runs on the board for Napa. And he's retired the last 4 in a row. And he's been keeping the ball low. Napa hasn't been getting the sweet spot, and mostly everything's been on the ground for Pizzola. I believe only 2 of the outs have been flyouts. Everything else has been ground outs for Anthony Pizzola through the first 4 innings. 2-1, fouled over our heads. What am I going to do if one comes over here? Could I trust you to make a play?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh, no.
One-handed snag, no problem. The memory may be gone, but I still got a little hand-eye coordination.
I don't know. I see you pulling stuff when you're just walking around. This one, Keene hits well. Ibarra, the left fielder, gets under it. 1 up, 1 down in the top of the 5th. Randy Keene now 0 for 2.
And so talking about the nicknames, Raina Carrasco, our camera person, trying to get in the mix, and she thinks Aaron Brasher should be Beefcake. How's that one, Mr. Brasher? Yeah.
I'm going with Iron Man.
I'm going with Iron Man, too.
I don't think he would like that one.
I don't want to call anybody Beefcake when they come up to bat, right?
Of course, a woman would come up with that nickname, right?
When Raina puts a headset on, she can come up with her own nicknames. That'd be funny.
Oh, my gosh. If you two grab a headset and go through nicknames, man, the audience is going to be dying of laughter. 1-0, swing and a miss for Tim Nunn. 0 for 1, grounded out to JQ, second baseman, in his only at-bat. 0 for 28 on the season. This kid is due for a hit. And he hit the ball well. Just JQ made a nice little stretch play going towards the first base side.
Yeah, another foot to the right. That's a hit.
Pizzola blows the fastball by him. Count now 1-2.
Go 9.
Napa, though, like what I see in the dugout below, kids still in the game, shouting out encouragement to Tim Nunn.
The 1-2 in the dirt. And the one thing that might make Scott Stover the happiest has nothing to do with baseball. It's all in the classroom. Anthony Pizzola, one of 8 baseball players that made the 2012 Falls Dean list. Nick Speedy and Zach Wells were the Fall 2012 President Award winners. And that's one thing Stover has done. 2-2, foul ball, out of play. Stover has made sure these guys have school, academics first, and baseball comes second, which is crazy because the guy is an absolute nut when it comes to baseball.
Well, he knows.
In the nicest way.
Yeah, and he knows, though, it's important, and the opportunities for these kids to move on and end up getting their education paid for is right there. You've got Solano. They're prominent as a baseball program.
And that's why Victor Romero is playing at Oklahoma State right now. And that's why he's number 1 on the team in home runs.
Christian Torres.
Yep.
Playing.
Patrick Johnson, that was the one thing he regretted, was he wasn't the best he could be in class.
But that's what community college does. It gives a lot of these kids a second chance to reinvigorate their academic
Swung through
careers.
the fastball. 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th.
So Tim Nunn still not much luck at the plate, but
none luck.
Yeah, he's in the lineup though because of his fielding ability, and we saw that with a couple sensational plays over at third.
So that's a first strikeout for Pizzola. This one fisted. JQ going towards second base, makes the put out. So 7 in a row retired. 1-2-3 inning for Anthony Pizzola. Once again, you're checking out Solano College Sports Network. Bottom of the 5th, 6-0 Solano. Curtis, huff, pass. Huffman. Of course, that's why I'm saying that. Check out Puff, Pass, KSFS Radio, every Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. Trust me, just check it out. Very entertaining sports talk show. We serve it all up, baby. You got entertainment, you got good content. You're going to learn something you didn't know about sports after that 2-hour show. My boy JT Blaze, Jake Poff, and Dominic Jimenez. Check us out, KSFS Radio, every Thursday, 4 to 6. First pitch misses, ball 1 to Alex Crosby. Extended his hitting streak to 17 now. Has hit safely in every single game this year.
Outstanding show on Thursday, by the way. Very entertaining. And I always learn something. Always learn something about
sports. I know my
sports.
stuff. Maybe we'll get a little UFC talk in. Maybe make some predictions here at the end of this one.
Huge fight card tonight. One of the best in years, I think.
I'm polling for Nick Diaz. I hope Nick Diaz takes GSP's belt. But GSP's won 10 in a row. Arguably the pound-for-pound best. I think Anderson Silva is, but GSP could make that argument. The 3-0 to Crosby, taken all the way, strike 1. But Nick Diaz has a chance to maybe give GSP a good fight tonight.
You know, looking at Crosby at the plate.
Oh, you got another nickname for him or what?
No.
The 3-1 weekly hit to second. Ortega throws a first, 1 up, 1 down for Huffman. Sorry, partner, what were we saying about the big Alex Crosby?
Well, when he was a sophomore at Wood, he played with Shane Segrist. Of course, we know Shane Segrist.
MMA.
Excellent running back for Wood, but he's gone on.
Last time I checked, he was 2-0 in the local circuits up here.
So, former teammate of Crosby, the hitman, Shane Segrist.
Maybe I'm gonna try and get a hold of that guy. We're gonna do a little MMA show. That'd be fun. Tucker Bishop takes first pitch, strike 1, almost way off the plate. Bishop, perfect 2 for 2. Infield single in the second, and a 2-run, 2-out double in the third, his last at bat. This one hit to short. Took another tricky hop. Excellent play by Christian Gazdar to stay with it. That's got to be tough playing shortstop at this field. I mean, that ball changes direction right when it hits the dirt at first. You got pebbles, you got rocks. Who knows what else is under there? Because we've seen Gazdar get fooled a couple of times on tricky hops, but stuck with that one. Took a little low hop, but able to throw it out to first. 2 up, 2 down. JQ, 1 for 1. Had a 2-out RBI single following Tucker's 2-out, 2-run double. 15 RBIs for JQ, and Justin Clayton has had an RBI in 12 of the 17 games this year for Solano. He's their #1 RBI guy on the year with 15. Helps out Huffman, swinging at that 0-1, about a foot in front of home plate, count 0-2. And Huffman's come in and done a pretty good job here. Came in to start the 4th. Gave up a 1-out double to Fernandez, struck out Brasher, and got Wells to fly out to right. This one hit weakly, shortstop. Going to be a tough play and just holds it. Couldn't get it cleanly, so that'll go down as an infield single for Justin Clayton.
Yeah, I think what happened there with Gazdar, he went to make the throw and it just fell out of his hand. And so kind of lost that grip on the ball.
ZH, number 11, Nick Speeney.
So Nick Speeney will come up. He's 1 for 2. Had an RBI sac fly in the 2nd. RBI double in the 3rd. Let's see if Stover lets him try and swing here for some power. I mean, Speeney's 3 home runs last year, led Solano. I know you're just busting out your little card. See, what do you got for his nickname? You couldn't even hold your smile in.
I got a bunch. This kid's hard.
Gosh, I know Harry Potter's in the mix somewhere.
You know, I tried to get it in, but I've never seen Harry Potter movies, so I don't know any of those lame characters. But I tell you what, the spin doctor.
Next.
He's always got
Next.
something to say,
Next.
always going to put a positive spin on it.
Next.
Like when you asked him in the interview, how come you haven't hit any home runs? The spin doctor. Good answer.
This one fouled. Well, of course he's going to have something to say. I asked him a question. What's the next one? That one's shot down. No. How is he a barber? How? Let's explain this.
I'm trying to do, because, hey, you talked about the academic. Nick Speeney, Fall 2012 President Award winner. This kid could be on the debate team. He could be in SoCal right now competing for a state championship.
Last time I checked, you don't need a college education to be a barber.
No, it's because you're sharp, right? Razor sharp, razor
my
wit.
gosh.
You got to work with me here.
I can't.
Hey, here's one easy. Speeney's always talking. How about the lip?
Yeah, I'll give you that. I like that. That'll do it. And, yeah, we'll go with that.
Nick the Lip, Speeney. And then my last one was slick. I just,
You ran out of stuff, so
Yeah.
he's slick.
yeah.
He's a Harry Potter fan. He's
That
not
was kind
slick.
of like legs,
Speeney hits this one to center. Grubbs going towards right. Excellent job by Curtis Huffman. He's gone 2 innings, no runs allowed. Solano up 6-0 as we go to the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th, Pizzola's still out on the hill. He's retired 7 in a row. Back to the top of the order for the Napa Valley Storm. Alex Fernandez, 1 for 2 this afternoon. The lefty shows bunt, pulls it back way outside, ball 1. And Anthony Pizzola in his 2 Bay Valley Conference starts, 2-0, 2.30 ERA, 12 strikeouts and 4 walks, and he's been just as phenomenal here today. 1-0 outside. And talking about pitchers, we're going to get Ryan Anderson in this week on Falcons Baseball Weekly, the 2nd episode. So make sure and check that out. You just got to go to YouTube, youtube.com/Solano College. That'll take you right to the page. Falcons Baseball Weekly, episode 1 already there. Check it out. It's about a 15-20 minute show. Talk of Solano baseball, get a couple of guys interviewing. Fun show.
Visit the practice field, get a little on-field report.
1-2, weekly hit. JQ fills it, throws to first. 1 up, 1 down. 8 in a row retired for Anthony Pizzola.
Boy, and another.
And also, too, you get to check out the lawnmower. And that was so funny.
No,
in the
he
shot
was-
you did, we tried to plan it out where he wouldn't be in the shot. But, of course, right as the closing, and you see him, I'm surprised he didn't wave. Surprised he didn't wave.
Also, too, I think we're going to try to get Nick Altman
Nick
on
Altman.
the show as well, and maybe get the Pez dispenser in.
We had hitters last week, so we'll get some pitchers in. We got Altman and Anderson for sure, and we'll get Pizzola in.
Well, he's always in Indy. He always comes in and flashes it. He's always coming in during the middle of the show. Oh, I got to change.
Right? Next time he does that, we're getting him, and we're going to put him on the episode.
You put him on the last one.
But I waited till at least, he wasn't in his boxer shorts. Didn't want to embarrass the guy.
Well, he's doing nothing to embarrass himself today and could be going for a 2nd complete game in a row.
Jordan Grubbs takes a 2-0, strike 1. Jordan Grubbs has been perfect at the plate, 2 for 2, 2 singles. adding to that 337 average this year, and you got to love this kid's game. A very, very good baseball player. 337, 2 homers, 16 RBIs for Jordan Grubbs. 518 slugging percentage, also has 7 doubles this year, has scored 18 runs. Mr. Everything for Napa. See, that's how you come up with nicknames. You don't write them down and think about them. It just comes naturally. Mr. Everything, Jordan Grubbs. 3-1 outside, count now full.
But for a guy who does everything, I like the natural even better.
A little defensive there. Whoa. No, I like that one. That was good. 3 of those nicknames came up with solid. They're good. 6 weren't. 3-2 inside, so 1 out walk for Jordan Grubbs. First walk issued from Anthony Pizzola. And that's the one thing Pizzola's worked on very well, is the one problem he had at the beginning of the season, he's a little erratic with the walks, but the last 3 starts, including this one, he's only had 5 walks.
A couple of those walks, though, in early games, too, he was kind of in jams. I remember against DVC, I forget the name of their first baseman.
But he was walking
Devin
basically,
Alexander.
he was walking him, one of the unintentional walks. This one popped a mile high, foul territory, Crosby calls for it. Plenty of room. 2 down. Rico Rodriguez now 0 for 3.
Let's go, Vontae.
So that'll bring up the cleanup hitter.
Win seems like it's...
we got a sorry partner, but we got
right.
we got a pinch hitter in, Devontae Harris, the left-handed freshman, a Stag High.
Stag High?
Stag High, S-T-A-G-G, baby. 350 average this year, 2 RBIs, has an OPS at 809.
All boys school?
That would suck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you gotta have girls in high school.
And I don't think it is, but just who called it Stag? It could be after Amos Alonzo Stag.
And you just like come up with everything, don't
Well,
you?
who is Amos Alonzo?
I have no clue.
Come on.
I'm not 80 like you, sir.
It's still, if you study football, he's kind of known as the guy who really got football started in the U.S. Famous coach back at Yale, back at the turn of the century.
If there weren't TVs around back then, I'm not going to go that far back. Brasher with the pickoff attempted. He has gunned down Aaron Brasher, the Iron Man. Shows off his cannon, picks off Grubbs, and it looks like he might have jammed a finger going back into first. Hope Grubbs is okay. Going to the bottom of the 6th. 6-0 Falcons. Bottom of the 6th. Curtis Huffman still out on the hill. He's gone 2 innings. No earned runs for Huffman. Gets to face the bottom of the order. Tolbert and Ibarra, the 8-9 hitters. Then back to the top with David Fernandez. First pitch over, strike 1. Jordan Tolbert, 0 for 1. This one, weakly hit. Going to be an easy play for the second baseman. Ortega throws to first, 1 up, 1 down. And Curtis Huffman has done a fabulous job coming in. Replaced Brandon Mayo after 3 innings. Huffman has gone 2 1/3, no earned runs, and trying to give Napa a chance as they got 9 outs left. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Edgar Ibarra, 1 for 2. 241 average this year. Got his 5th RBI on the season in the 2nd inning. Ball 1 to Ibarra. And Solano's got to win these type of games against teams that are towards the bottom pack of the Bay Valley Conference. Solano's tied for first place in the BVC, 5-2 record. Tied with Yuba, tied with Marin, and also Mendocino joining the party as they're 5-2 now. 2-0 low, count 3-0. And the Falcons got a big-time win on Thursday, due in large part to Ryan Anderson's performance. Went 8 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, only 1 earned. Nick Altman came in. Ibarra draws the walk. Altman came in the 9th and a 1-2-3 9th inning at Marin College. Falcons pulled it out 2-1. And Marin, of course, one of the better pitching staffs in all of Northern California. They're number 1 in the Bay Valley Conference with a team ERA at 2.60. And Solano, on the other hand, they have been hot with the bats. Number 2 average in the Bay Valley Conference. Fernandez fouls this one over our heads, so the count 0-1. Solano, number 1 in on-base percentage at 364. Slugging percentage, 354, second best in the BVC. 107 runs scored before today's game, tied for first. And they lead the BVC with 11 triples. And they also get the bat on the ball, 81 strikeouts, the fewest in the Bay Valley Conference. And also they get aboard via walks, 67 walks, second most in the BVC. Their pitching starting to get a little better here as of late. Team ERA at 3.78, sixth best. Fernandez hits this one right between third and short. Ibarra, hard turn past second, but he goes back, so Ibarra now at second. Fernandez at first with one down. That'll bring up Aaron Brash at the catcher. Looking for his first hit, 0 for 2 so far tonight. And looking back at Solano's pitching rankings,
Catcher, number 21.
108 strikeouts this year for Solano's pitchers, third most in the BVC. But they really need to get that team ERA down from 3.78. And the way Pizzola and the way Ryan Anderson's been pitching lately, they are getting that team ERA down. Ryan Anderson's last 2 starts, he's gone 8 innings, and also at 9, they tried a little hit and run there, and Brasher swung through it. Ibarra tagged out at third. Fernandez moves over to second, so Brasher, tough pitch to hit on the hit and run. Out of the strike zone. Brasher just tried to get a piece, but couldn't. So Stover trying to get a little aggressive, up 6-0 in the bottom of the 6th. So Aaron Brasher now up with 2 down. 0-1 low, count 1-1.
Go, boy! Go, babe, on out. Go, defense! Go, hook, here we go.
Brasher 0 for 2. Takes the 1-1 low. Brasher with 5 RBIs on the season. And even though he's batting 192 on the year, he does have an on-base percentage at .357, so he knows how to get on base. And his main job is behind the dish, and we saw him how he ended the top of the 6th. Gunned down Grubbs at first, picked him off. So the count now 3-1 to Brasher with the base open, but you do not want to walk Brasher with Zach Wells on deck.
Boy, and Brasher just another in a long line of outstanding catchers here at Solano Community College for the Falcons.
Victor Romero, Kyle Bible, Ryan Lipkin, James Mossholder. 3-1, high and inside, just barely misses, so a 5-pitch walk to Brasher. So that'll bring up Zach Wells. Zach Wells looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3 today.
Zach Wells.
Got robbed in the 3rd inning when Jordan Grubbs made an outstanding play in center.
I like Wellesley's chance to get a hit here. I just don't think he's going to get through this game without a hit.
Well, I like his chances better to get a hit than you to come up with another good nickname.
Oh, I like the natural.
I like
think that's
that,
one of the better ones.
One and only. Count 0-1 to Zach Wells. And Zach Wells, what a season he had last year. 380 average, second best in the BVC, 27 RBIs, and scored 29 runs. Had 17 multi-hit games last year, and reached base safely in 32 of those 35 games last year.
And not even a kid that Solano recruited. I mean, we heard the story a couple weeks ago.
Cody Crower.
Exactly.
And this year, he's still having a very good year, but just not as good as last year. Has a .318 average, 11 RBIs.
But he does so much for this team.
And he's reached base safely in every single game this year. That streak might come to an end today. We'll have to wait and see, but he's 0 for 3 so far today. And he does have a .318 average, but he still hit safely in 15 of the 17 games that he started for Scott Stover. And has a 3-game hitting streak on the line if he can't get a hit here.
And took one of the best plays I've seen all season out in center field, robbed Wells of a hit.
2-1, low and outside, so count now 3-1. And those pitches are just barely missing. Alex Crosby on deck. Crosby's 1 for 2. Count 3-1 to Zach Wells. Fernandez at second, Brasher at first. Wells hits this one up the box, right between second baseman and shortstop. Fernandez is going to score standing up. Brasher stops at second, so a 2-out RBI single for Zach Wells. Now has hit safely in 16 of 18 games and has reached base safely in all 18.
That's why he's the natural.
Now batting, first baseman, number 22, Alex Crosby.
So Stover tried to get a little aggressive. did the hit and run with runners on first and second with one down with Brasher up. He swung and missed, but Barr got gunned down at third. But the Falcons still do come up with one run here and could do a little more here in the bottom of the sixth as we get another pitching change. And Curtis Huffman did a pretty good job, had 2 scoreless innings, finally gave up a run here in the sixth. So he goes 2 2/3.
And looks like we're going to see the kid out of Wilseywood High School come in and pitch. Just down east on Interstate 80 from Solano College, Joey Evans. The lefty coming in, a sophomore, 5'9", 155-pounder, 3.86 ERA. Zach, this will be his 6th appearance. He's pitched in 4.2 innings of work, 6 walks, 3 strikeouts.
Bam. You're doing my job. I don't even got to do anything. All right, partner, we got some time. It's 7-0. We're in the bottom of the 6th. UFC 158 tonight.
I can't wait. This is one.
Are you taking GSP?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, no, I'm taking GSP. I think Nick Diaz is going to give him trouble, but I think GSP will do what he normally does. He's going to get Diaz on the ground. He's going to frustrate him. You're probably going to see the press conference yesterday, all Nick Diaz. That guy is wound tight for this fight. But boy, if anybody can give GSP a run for his money, it's going to be the kid out of Stockton, Nick Diaz.
209. Yeah, I like GSP in that fight. He's a great wrestler. Best wrestler in mixed martial arts, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's what he does when he fights really tough opponents. He just gets them on the ground and dominates them.
And we were talking about this before we were driving to Billy Lewis Yarborough Stadium. How about that co-main event? Johnny Hendricks, 14-1, 9-1 in the UFC. Taking on Carlos the Natural Born Killer Condit. See, those are good nicknames. Carlos the Natural Born Killer and Johnny Big Rig Hendricks.
Well, it's easier to come up with nicknames for guys that are fighting, right?
Give me one for Nick Diaz. He doesn't have one. He said it's easy.
The Asylum.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I like that. That's not bad. It fits him perfectly. The guy's a nut. Who you got? You got Big Rig or you got Carlos Condit?
Boy, I like both those fighters, but I'm going to go with the puncher.
Yeah, I got Hendricks too. I think
I'm going with Hendricks.
Hendricks would be the first guy to knock out Carlos Condit, and he's fought in 34 professional MMA fights.
But that fight is as good as the main card. In fact, I may even be looking just as forward to that fight as the GSP.
I think that fight has a chance to be maybe more competitive. But you want to talk about anticipation for a fight. I mean, Nick Diaz, GSP, ranks up there with Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva. So back to baseball.
And I think a fighter would like the nickname the Hitman.
Always trying to segue yourself, ain't you, sir? Joey Evans, the lefty. First batter he gets to face is Alex Crosby. Fastball hind outside, ball 1. Crosby 1 for 2. Had a single in the second, walk in the third. Grounded out to Tim Nunn in his last at-bat. Scored 2 runs this afternoon.
So Crosby, 16 runs scored on the season.
16 runs scored and 17-game hitting streak. Has hit safely in every single game for Solano.
Hey, nice and easy, huh?
We're going to get him in next week, most likely, for Falcons Baseball Weekly. He's got to have a good week, though. We're not going to get you in if you're having a subpar week. But the guy's had
he has a good week every week.
Year. Yeah, exactly. And this is dating back to last year, too. I mean, what him and Wells have meant to the Solano baseball team for the last year plus. I mean, these guys have been consistent every single day. And they're excellent team leaders, too, especially Zach Wells.
Well, these guys both combined.
3-0.
They've got
right
25, I think 25 runs batted in combined and 24 runs scored between them.
Your math was close. Did you say 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Yeah.
Look at that. And that one hits Crosby, so bases now chucked for Tucker Bishop, and Tucker Bishop's maybe been the hottest hitter for Solano. He's had 7 multi-hit games this year, but 4 of those 7 have come in the last 6 games for Solano, and he's batting .367 since conference play started. 6 runs batted in. Had 11 hits coming into today, but 2 more this afternoon. Now has 13. Also got 2 more RBIs, so now up to 8 RBIs in 7 conference games. First pitch high for ball 1, but he still doesn't have the biggest hit of his family. Hunter Bishop's walk-off grand slam. I mean, that's tough to top. Look who's got the bases loaded right here, though. See if he can do what Hunter did.
Won't be a walk-off, but
still. And he hasn't hit a home run yet in his young career here at Solano. A 1-0 over for strike one.
And you had a chance to visit with Tucker Bishop in last week's episode of Falcon Baseball Weekly.
And if you haven't checked it out already, just check it out. Go to YouTube. Bishop hits this one well to left, but plenty of room for Fernandez. 5 feet in front of the warning track. Not as much pop as little Hunter Bishop there, but Tucker gave that one a ride. Falcons do tack on one more in the bottom of the 6th. 7-0, heading to the top of the 7th. Top of the 7th, Anthony Pizzola still out on the hill. Kid's been money. Threw a complete game shutout his last game. Where are you pointing at?
The new hitter, Devontae Harris.
And technically, he is a new hitter, but technically not. I mean, he was in the box to end the last inning when got picked off at first base.
That was Grubbs, right?
Jordan Grubbs stubbed his finger. But not an official at bat, so technically you are right. Devontae Harris batting .350 this year. 2 runs batted in, .809 OPS. The freshman out of Stag High.
Oh, that's right. That was your brought up.
Yeah, I'm surprised you remember.
I got carried away with Amos Alonso Stag.
1-1 low. What am I going to do with myself, man?
Listen and learn like you've been doing all your life, kid.
Oh, my gosh.
I was impressed, though, because you used Segway in the broadcast today. I know before you
I
started
have my
college,
own radio show.
You had no idea what Segway meant.
I
so
have my
that's
own
good.
radio show. I have to know what a Segway is. Counts 2-2 to Devontae Harris, the 6-foot, 185-pound freshman first baseman. Pinch hitting for Eric Peruzzi. Peruzzi 0 for 2 this afternoon and continues his slump, 2 for 21 in his last 7 games. Harris fouls this one straight back.
And Harris looks like a kid that's trying to work his way into the lineup. As you said, 6 foot, 185, very athletic looking. Good speed. And as you said, Zach comes in hitting .350.
Fastball, swing and a miss. Harris goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Pizzola.
Boy, Pizzola just looks in complete control out there.
And if you look at the matchups between Solano and Napa since 2009, it's kind of been a one-sided competition. 10-3 for Scott Stover since 2009 against Napa. First pitch, little high to Kevin Coffey, the catcher. Count 1-0. 2-1 last year against Napa. Swept Napa in 2011 and 2010 and 2009 back when they actually played 4 games. This one hit up the box. Quillayton going off his other way. Off the bat, Crosby misses the tag. So Kevin Coffey, the speedy catcher. I don't know, that's tough.
Definitely infield hit, I think.
I don't know about definitely, but...
Yeah, because he had to go a long way towards the bag and then stop, turn, make the throw.
But if he makes a nice throw, that's it. It's an out.
But it was just hard to make that turn and get enough on it to get the runner, and...
I would give him an air, but I'm going to...
Coffey runs well.
Yeah.
Kid's fast.
He's a grinder.
He is.
You like that? Coffee, grind.
Oh, very good. I like that.
The old people never get it. They got rain on the camera. She didn't even get it either. Okay. Count 1-0 now to Christian Gazdar, and the shortstops 1 for 2 this afternoon. This is community college baseball. Anything can happen.
That's so true.
Napa's just got to get some runners on and see what happens. That's all you got to do is find a way to get on base when you're down 7 runs. I've seen crazier things happen with Solano. This one fouled straight back, right over our camera woman, Raina's head. Thought she was going to make a Wes Welker type of catch and drop it in the end zone.
She's about as tall as Welker, too, huh?
I don't know. Welker might be shorter. So Pizzola, 1 down, top of the 7th. Coffey on first. This one hit. Double play ball. Bishop to second. Quillayton to first. 5-4-3 inning ending double play. Second double play turned by the Falcons. Going to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch. Falcons up big. Touchdown to nothing. 7-0. Bottom of the 7th. JQ, Justin Quillayton in the box. Joey Evans still out on the hill. He came in the bottom of the 6th, replaced Curtis Huffman. JQ, perfect, 2 for 2. Got hit by a pitch in his first AB, had an RBI single in the 3rd and an infield single in his last at-bat. 15 RBIs now on the year for JQ.
So Joey Evans out of Will C. Wood High School, the former Wildcat.
JQ all over that pitch, but a little early. Got some good news, partner. I don't got to work tonight. Get to go home.
A few basketball games on.
Have a few beverages, watch some college ball all day. Of course, I'm talking about Coca-Cola. And UFC 158 tonight. I can't wait. Let's count 1 and 2 to Justin Quillayton. And Justin Quillayton has been a stud this year for Solano, #1 in RBIs for the squad. And that's a squad with Alex Crosby, Nick Spini, JQ. Foul territory. Plenty of room for Tim Nunn. 1 up, 1 down. First time JQ's been retired.
And even though you wanted to give him an air in the last inning, I think JQ has been...
I wrote it down as a single.
Nice.
I like him.
Yeah. And it was.
Yeah. I don't know.
That was a tough chance.
In my opinion, I thought that was an error. It's a play that he should make. It was a tough play, yeah, but he got there in time, had time to make a throw to first, drew Crosby off the back. But I give him a single. So no error on JQ.
Boy, that one I thought almost nicked, and that's Anthony Pickett.
There you go. Pinch hitting for Nick Spini. Looking for his first hit on the season.
I think he's 0 for 10.
0 for 10. Outside corner, strike 1 for Joey Evans.
Anthony Pickett, just one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet.
And this one hits Pickett in the leg, so he'll be awarded first base.
So Pickett gets a ticket to first.
You're just on point today, ain't you, partner? Jordan Tolbert coming out to some Drake, started from the bottom. In the bottom of the order, so it makes sense.
And we haven't got to Tolbert yet.
I don't even want to know.
Now, his nickname, Easy, you're going to like it. It fits.
You said that about Spini, and then you threw out...
When you look at Tolbert, what do you think? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you look at his skill set?
He's good.
He's fast. Well, his name starts with a J. Jordan the Jet Tolbert. Can't get easier than that.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. And Jordan Tolbert looking for his first hit this afternoon, 0 for 2.
Got that speed in center field.
Fouled straight back. Count 1 and 1. What else you got on there?
I don't have anything else on the list.
Thank
I like
you.
that one. I like that. I was
Thank
going, the Jet, that fits.
Good. We're done for the nicknames now.
I was thinking maybe of the Roadrunner.
Let's give Stover one.
Ooh, gonna have to work on that one.
Chopper, second. Ortega to second for 1. Can't turn 2 is a speedy Jet. Tolbert beats it out. So a fielder's choice. 2 down now here in the bottom of the 7th.
Nice play by Rodriguez at first, digging that one out of the dirt, kept that one from possibly getting by him. Also, Coffee the catcher down to back him up, but that could have allowed the runner to get down to second base. So nice play by the first baseman.
I love this kid that's coming into pinch hit. I think this kid's got a chance to be really, really good down the road for Solano. Matt Mitchell.
Yeah.
He comes in, batting .273. Has an outstanding on-base percentage of .550. The guy knows how to get on base, and no home runs this year. Only 3 RBIs, but watch out for this kid down the road. He's got some pop in the bat. If he gets a hold of one, he can hit it a ton. 1-0 inside, so count 2-0.
Yeah, you look at his numbers back when he played at Bethel just last year. Hit .344, had 22 hits, scored 14 runs, and he had 10 runs batted in.
The 2-0 inside, count 2-1. And also, you want to talk about former Falcons with some pop. How about Victor Romero at Oklahoma State? Batting .268 this year with 4 homers, leads the team. He's tied for second in the Big 12 home runs. Mitchell smokes this one right past the third baseman, Nunn. Tolbert thinking 3, hard turn past second. Mitchell heads up base running, but it doesn't matter because Alex Fernandez with the cannon to third. Tim Nunn tags Jordan Tolbert. So it looks like we need to find a new nickname. Didn't look like the Jet
Come
going
on.
to third right
Get
there.
the afterburners going, baby.
So that's how the 7th inning ends. Tolbert tagged out at third. 7-0 Falcons going to the top of the 8th. Anthony Pizzola still out on the hill. And how about Anthony Pizzola? This one, skied into left. Wind playing tricks on the new left fielder. Gio Torres gets under it. So 1 pitch, 1 down here in the 8th, and Pizzola's been cruising.
Third baseman.
He's given up 1 hit in the last 4+ innings. Gave up 5 hits in the first 3. Since then, he's only allowed 1 hit. I mean, he's trying to hog another interview, but so far he's been the player of the game. But I think we're going to have to go and get someone on offense. I mean, we've already got the Pez dispenser in. First pitch swinging again. Tough play. Torres coming in.
Bam.
Makes the play as the wind blew his hat off, but didn't affect him coming in to make the play in shallow left. So 2 pitches, 2 down for Pizzola.
And poor Tim Nunn.
Second baseman.
Maybe had a chance there with a little help from the wind, but
0 for
3.
0 for 30 now this year. The one thing I love about that is it hasn't affected his defensive play at all. I mean, you look at basketball, for example, and look at a guy like Dwight Howard. When his offensive game's off, it affects his defense, but it hasn't been the case for Tim Nunn this year. Anytime I get a Laker blowing, I get it, but hey, they've been balling.
Big win last night.
In Indiana without Kobe Bryant. Well, he played 1 quarter. But Steve Blake knocked down 3 big-time threes. Antoine Jameson had a big-time game. And anytime you get Steve Nash with the ball in his hands, he goes back to his former 2-time MVP self.
And it looks like we're getting a little activity down in the Falcon bullpen. Drew Lamont getting down there.
And I believe that's Adam Coates to his right.
You know, we haven't talked much about the Falcon bullpen, but boy, the last couple games, they have been outstanding.
Max Van Dyke, I believe, came in and pitched well about a couple weeks ago.
That game against Yuba on Tuesday. Nick Driscoll struggled, gave up, I think they were down 5.
I don't think Driscoll made it out of the 3rd inning.
Didn't. Coates came in, got roughed up a little bit, but then after that, I know Van Dyke pitched really well. Lamont came in, Duman pitched.
And Duman's had a phenomenal year. 2-2, low, counts full. Yeah, if you look at Mike Duman, I mean, the kid's had 7 appearances, 6 innings, 5 Ks, 3 walks, no record, but a 1.50 ERA. You got a nice 8th inning guy in Duman. As Pizzola, 2nd walk of the game. Ortega, the number 9 hitter, nice battle back.
Ryan Ernest, another guy, even though if you look at his numbers, not all that great, but he's pitched very effectively. And they really came down in that loss to Yuba. They lost that game in the 10th, as you mentioned before. But they were down 5-0. It was really the bullpen that gave them a chance to climb back in that game, tie it in the top of the 9th. And
then you got, arguably the best closer in the BBC at Nick Altman. I mean, the guy's gone 7 2/3 worth of work, and he's only allowed 3 hits.
Oh yeah, he's the ace in the bullpen, easily.
And he hasn't allowed 1 earned run all year. And I believe he's tied for 2nd in the BBC with his 3 saves.
Just kind of trying to set up a nickname for Altman.
Please don't.
How about ace?
You can't be the ace if you're out of the pen, though. You got to.
Well, that's what I just said. He's the ace in the pen.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's the best guy in the bullpen. He'd be the ace.
Bam! This one smoked, but foul down the right side. Nice swing by Alex Fernandez. 1 for 3 this afternoon.
I got a couple for Altman now.
Well, check this out. Nick Altman, he hasn't allowed a hit since February 15th. He's gone 4 straight appearances without allowing a hit. Had a 1-2-3 9th inning up at Marin College last Thursday in that 2-1 victory. And he's only had 1 walk this year with 7 strikeouts. The kid's been an absolute stud out of the pen.
Yeah, their bullpen has been really, really solid this year. And that's why they've had some games where they've been able to come back and win games they were down early, and it's that bullpen giving them a chance.
Partner, will you just tell me what Ryan Anderson's nickname is? I've been thinking about what you got.
I got 2 of them. I'm not going to go with one because it's too well known.
Let's hear
the
it.
Ryan Express. But of course, Nolan Ryan, so don't want to copy that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
How about the A train? Next stop, Strikesville, baby.
I I liked it until you got too
A-train.
corny on me with the Strikesville joke, but this one, hit in the left. Torres makes the play. So Pizzola's gone 8 innings, no earned runs allowed for the Pez dispenser. Torres comes in, makes all 3 putouts, going to the bottom of the 8th. Falcons up by a touchdown and an extra point. So Napa goes to the back pocket, get their 4th pitcher out. Fernandez rips this one right at the third baseman, Tim Nunn, and Fernandez doesn't even have to move a step. Nice play by Tim Nunn, and Matt Jimenez out on the hill, the sophomore out of St. Helena High School, a 6'1", 185-pound righty, making a 6th appearance on the season. No record to show for a 13.50 earned run average, but a lot of time. I mean, coming out the pen, ERAs can be a lot overblown. It takes one bad appearance to get that ERA shot up, and it takes a while to get it back down. So one pitch, 1 out for Jimenez.
Look at Ryan Anderson. I mean, I think his ERA was up close to 18 early on in the season.
Now down to 5.
Yeah.
And that's taken 5 quality starts to get it down to 5. 1-0 from Jimenez, over for strike 1. And talking about former Falcons, I've been wanting to get this in the whole time. We talked about Victor Romero. 4 homers this year for Oklahoma State, tied for 2nd in the Big 12. I mean, that's one of the most well-respected baseball conferences. 16 RBIs, tied for 5th in the Big 12. I mean, Victor Romero's been raking as of late. One of 3 players on that Oklahoma State squad to start in every single game. And Oklahoma State's off to a 14-3 start this year, number 24 in the nation. So Oklahoma State's playing pretty well. Also, Kenton Bavacqua not having as good a year as he did last year. He's got an ERA in the double digits. But still, I mean, he's pitching in D1. So the count 3-1 now to Brasher. And look over at Missouri Baptist. 2 studs that we had just a blast calling games. Ethan Gibbons along with Patrick Johnson. Bubba Johnson's batting .407 this year.
Wow.
.407. He's going Ted Williams on him. 6 doubles for Bubba. OPS at 1.005 as Brasher draws the walk. And Johnson doing what he does best. Does everything. 7 for 9 in stolen base attempts this year. 12 runs scored. He's only struck out 3 times in 47 at-bats. Now you look at the pitching staff for Missouri Baptist. Ethan Gibbons has been the ace. 4 starts for Gibby, 2-0 record, ERA at 2.57 in 21 innings, 16 strikeouts, and 4 walks. Pretty impressive. And I used to love watching Ethan Gibbons and a former Napa stud, Tyler Cravey, pitch in 2009.
That's right.
And Tyler Cravey's in the Milwaukee Brewers organization. He only pitched 1 year at Napa, was selected in the 17th round in the draft. And
I remember him pitching here at Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium, a couple scouts.
And one of them was from the Brewers, which is kind of funny. They ended up taking him in the 17th round, and he's been moving his way up. He's been in single A the last 2 years, and last season he had an ERA just over 3. And in a start a couple years ago, I mean, the kid went 5 innings and he had 12 strikeouts. So pretty cool to see Tyler Cravey and Ethan Gibbons having some success. Cravey a little more success. He's in an MLB organization playing in single A. So pretty cool to see that, and that kid was a stud. He had a nasty curveball. He was a 2009 BVC Player of the Year.
And Gibbons is really enjoying where he's at right now. His younger sister's in one of my classes, Rayanna, and she's always telling me about Ethan having
She
a
an
good
athlete?
time. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Good student. Smart. Better student than her older brother. Ethan, though, good student. And really good speaker. Actually did a couple broadcasts that year that he was out.
Well, smokes this one. Nice play by the shortstop Gazdar for 1 to first. Outstanding double play turn. Gazdar to Ortega to Rico Rodriguez. 6-4-3 inning ending double play. Going to the top of the 9th. Napa needs a rally. Down 7-0. Well, Pizzola's afternoon is done, but what a fabulous performance. Anthony Pizzola goes 8 innings, no earned runs once again. So what, that's 17 innings in a row without allowing an earned run in his last 2 starts. Jordan Grubbs swings at the first pitch. Tolbert under it, 1 down. And Kyle Stafford making his 3rd appearance on the season, 1-1 record, 7.71 ERA, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Stover letting him get a little bit of work in here in the top of the 9th. Falcons up 7-0. And real quick, wanted to get back and talk about some former Falcons before this one ends. Dustin Crenshaw's little brother, Derek Crenshaw, has been raking for Eastern New Mexico University. Like Patrick Johnson, batting .407 this year, 1 homer and 16 RBIs for Derek Crenshaw. And also another guy that we forgot to talk about last week was Trevor Matern, playing at Georgetown. And this year he's batting .355 with 4 runs batted in. Not sure what conference Georgetown is in baseball. I don't know if they're in the Big East or if they're independent or what in baseball, but regardless, he's balling at a D1 school, batting .355 this year.
And he was a good third baseman.
Oh, outstanding. Who's the best Falcons third baseman that you've seen? I would go with Curtis, but...
Yeah, Chad Curtis.
Yeah. Was it Chris Curtis? And then Chad Combs?
Yes.
The double C's. I was thinking the same thing. That's why I said Curtis. I wanted you to throw a name out, and I knew if it sounded right or wrong. I couldn't remember.
And Scott Cretell, although he
played a little bit of first, but yeah, he played third too.
Yeah,
so
good third baseman.
3-1 from Stafford. This one smoked to left. This one's going back. And this one bounces off the fence, actually over the fence for a ground rule double. Rico Rodriguez wants to keep running, but he's going to get himself a 1-out ground rule double. Rico Rodriguez had a really good season this year, .319 average, just hit a 6th double on the year right there. Also does a little bit of pitching for Napa. 2-2 record, 2 starts, ERA just under 4 for Rico Rodriguez. Sophomore out of Hogan High, not too far from here.
Boy, he just tagged that too. And the wind, there was kind of a lull in the wind too when he hit it. And if the wind was blowing like it was back in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, that might have had a chance. Although that bounced, I think, before it even hit the warning track.
One other guy, Kagan Hopkins. Dropkick Murphy. I used to love it when he come out to that jam. He's not having as good a year as he did last year. 2-0 record, though, but an ERA just over 5. Made 1 start on the year, 13 strikeouts, 5 walks. So a little bit of Falcon history right there.
Boy, you knew when you heard that drop kick, Murphy. Hopkins coming in and the ball game about to end.
Who's better, him or Nick Altman?
Boy, I don't know, because Altman, boy, this year...
Hopkins did it for a longer period of time, but the numbers Altman is throwing up this year, I mean, you gotta side with Altman, in my opinion.
Yeah, and too, if you kind of go back and look at Altman's numbers when he was at Benicia, I mean, that kid was recruited by UC Davis. He was going to go there as a freshman and pitch. He just got hurt.
And partner, as you mentioned, I mean, his senior year at Benicia, nice pitch by Kyle Stafford, took a little off on the 1-2, so the Falcons just 1 out to go as Devontae Harris goes down swinging for the 2nd time. But his partner, as you mentioned, Benicia, senior year, 8-2 record, ERA at 1.94, pitched nearly 58 innings. Opponents batted .183, had 70 strikeouts, 12 walks.
And I think Hopkins pitched at Vacaville, either Vacaville or
it was
Vanden.
Vacaville.
Decent pitcher, but not the same numbers as Altman in high school.
So Kevin Coffey, 2 for 3, trying to keep this one alive. Napa down big, 7-0. Falcons just need 1 more out to move to 6-2 in the BVC. Curveball a little high, so the count 2-0. And of course, Solano tied with Marin, Yuba, and Mendocino, all 5-2.
And Yuba and Mendocino play today, so one of those teams will obviously stay in first. The other one will drop into second.
And partner, when's the next game we're broadcasting?
On Thursday. Thursday, we will have the game against Laney. So the Falcons go to Contra Costa on Tuesday. They'll be back at home against Laney on Thursday. That'll be our next broadcast here on the Solano College Sports Network.
1 more strike for Stafford, and this one's over.
So who are we going to go with the post-game interview? A lot of guys we could go with. I'd like to get somebody.
Let's get Justin Coulaton up here.
That's an excellent
We're
choice.
JQ. Weak chopper. Fernandez, going to be a tough play. Strong throw to first. Not in time. And excellent job by the speedy catcher, Kevin Coffey. Full extension, just beat the throw. So keeps this one going a little longer. That'll bring up the shortstop, Kristen Gazdar, who's 1 for 3.
Boy, and you like seeing that hustle by Coffey, getting down the base pass, down 7-0 in the 9th inning. But good hustle, no quit by the Napa Valley Storm. But it's been a tough season for the Storm this year.
Gazdar takes first pitch outside, ball 1. And it's truly remarkable what Solano has turned into under head coach Scott Stover. In his 11th season, Falcons have won 5 BVC championships. This one skied into right. Zach Wells under it, and that is how this one ends. So Solano now 6-2 in the BVC. They beat the Napa Valley Storm 7-0. Anthony Pizzola gets his 4th win on the season. Now 4-1 record for the Solano Falcons ace. Falcons now 6-1 in games that Anthony Pizzola has appeared in. The Napa Valley Storm fought a 0-8 in the BVC. Last place in the Bay Valley Conference. But big time performance for the Solano Falcons. And it's funny, we're trying to get Justin Clayton over here, and we tried to have Bobby Campbell get him, and you're trying to wave him down, and he thinks you're waving high. You gotta love Bobby Campbell, baby. So we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna have Justin Clayton up here on the visitors' dugout. So we'll be right back with Justin Clayton. Well, we got a very special guest here. We're here, Justin Clayton. Another outstanding game for JQ. Another RBI for JQ. I know you know this. You're number 1 on the team with your RBIs. I think you have 15 this year after you tacked on another one today. So just talk about today's game and the 7-0 win against Napa.
I felt like everything's just falling together for us. Everyone's getting those key base hits. Pitching's superb right now. They're doing everything we're asking them to, giving us a shot to win ball games.
So talk about that pitching and talk about Anthony Pizzola this year and what he's meant to the Solano Falcons. I mean, you guys are 6-1 in games that he's appeared in.
Pizzo's really just shutting the door. He's consistently throwing strikes. His off speed's there, keeping walks to a minimum, keeping base runners off, keeping them close to the bags, exactly what we need him to do.
And looking at you and obviously Aaron Brasher behind the plate, Zach Wells, Nick Speeney, and obviously Crosby, talk about the sophomore leadership and what that means to this team. Because you got guys like Tucker Bishop, Fernandez, a ton of good freshmen, but just talk about the sophomore leadership and what that means to these young freshmen.
I think the freshmen look up to us a lot. When we slack off, I feel like they tend to do the same as well. And when we start to pick it up, get a little bit more serious, especially on game days, I feel like they follow our lead and buckle down and get ready for the show.
So right here, Justin Clayton, I mean, this guy's been an RBI machine. 15 on the year. You've had an RBI in 12 of the 17 games for the Falcons this year. Just talk about your approach at the plate and if it's any different than what you've had in the past here at Solano.
It is different. Coach Stover's been working with me a lot. Before my at-bats, we always talk about the key situations, what I got to do to score the runs. I've been working the right side a lot, and besides that, just trying to keep the strikeouts to a minimal. I know I'm in double digits already, but
we won't tell anybody, all right?
That's fine too, but as long as we just put the ball in play, good things happen.
All right, I'll get you out on this real quick. Talk about Tommy Vavasi, his first year as a hitting coach. Just talk about what he means to the Falcons hitting squad.
He means a lot to us. He keeps it really, just we joke around and stuff, but when we need to get serious, he's the guy that we could go to and ask him questions, and he's always got an answer for us.
All right, so we're here with Falcons sophomore star, second baseman Justin Clayton. Now with an RBI in 12 of 17 games this year, the dude has been raking. Well, hey, Justin, thanks for your time, man.
Thank you.
So the Falcons pulled out 7-0 here at Bill and Louis Yarborough Stadium. Easy victory for the Falcons. Anthony Pizzola with 8 strong innings, no earned runs allowed. Pizzola has gone 17 innings in a row without allowing an earned run. So the Falcons get this one 7-0 in the final. Falcons score 7 runs on 10 hits. Most importantly, no errors for the Solano Falcons. Anthony Pizzola now 3-1 on the season. The Pez dispenser has been pezzing it out all year long for the Falcons. Solano now 6-2 in the BVC. We'll have to wait and find out if they're in first place alone or they're going to have some company. I'm Zach Poff. For my broadcast partner, as always, Greg Poff. We out here at Solano College Sports Network. And check out the YouTube channel, www.youtube/Solano College.